Hi everybody, this is Dawn over at Plot Chronicles. Today I want to do what I call a June report card and tell you how many books I read and what genres, and just give you a little bit of information. And then tomorrow I'm going to tell you my 2 favorite books, okay? I still like to keep my videos short and sweet, and I got to tell you this at the beginning. I've had so many YouTubers and even people that say, oh, you should do longer videos. I'm just sharing how I feel, okay? I think there's a lot of wonderful YouTubers, but if there's a video out there that the person's belaboring the point, I don't tend to listen as long. I like when people get to the point, and I do like keeping shorter videos for the most part. Let me know your thoughts on that. I'd love to hear. Okay, I'm going to get into it so I can keep this less than 5 minutes. Okay, so I read 9 books, not as much. I think last month I read 10. I read basically 8 thrillers and 1 historical fiction. I had 3 audiobooks out of all those, okay? Now, the historical fiction is a new-to-me author, and I already did a review on her book. Her name is Diane Chamberlain. I thought it was a good book. I rated it 4 stars. So, out of the month, I reread 1 book because I wanted to reread it again so that I could tell you guys about it. That was The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I really, really liked it. And I'm not trying to say that I'm the best one to give you guys reviews, but I do think in a way I am a good person to give reviews, because most of the books that I say that I like a lot, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm going to say the majority of people like them because it keeps their interest, and it's because I have a short attention span. So if I said something kept my interest, I guess that's a good thing. But Diane Chamberlain, I would definitely read it again. Would I say it was a fun book? No, because it was during a time that wasn't so fun. It was taking place during the 1960s and, you know, in the South, and it was not the best time for a lot of people, especially if you're low income, right? But I thought it was good, and I learned something. That's what I liked. It was historical fiction, but I actually learned some things. So that's what I love about historical fiction. I would say thriller and historical fiction are my 2 favorite genres, which that might sound kind of surprising. But 1 book got a 5-star, and it's the book I reread, The Only One Left by Riley Sager, which in some ways is a historical fiction because it takes place during the 1980s, but then it goes back in time, which I love when books do this, to, I think, was it the 1920s or 30s? It goes back in time from when the woman she's caregiving, okay? And so this old gothic feel. I love stuff like that. And so I would rate that book a 5-star. And I told you guys I only have 2 books that I rate 5 stars, but some have 4.75. Then I rated 4 books 4 stars. I rated 3 books 3 stars, and I rated 1 book 2 stars. I didn't DNF anything, or if I did DNF it, I DNF'd within a couple pages, and I'm like, oh, I can tell I'm just not going to want to read this. Or it might have been something like within a chapter, and I didn't even write it on my list of books, okay? And so that's kind of what I've done for the month. So basically, I finished with 9 books, and 3 of those were audio. But I felt like it was a good reading month. So tomorrow I'm going to come back and tell you the 2 books that were my favorites. Then the next day, I'm going to let you know my least favorite book for the month. And then after that, I'm going to do a mid-year wrap-up and tell you my favorite books and my least favorite books for the year. I don't know. So this book's going to be all about favorites and unfavorites. And I want to hear from you guys in the comments. How many books, if you want to share, did you read this month? Or maybe share with me your most favorite book you read this month. I'd love to hear in the comments below. Let me know if you like audiobooks. Anything you want to tell me about yourself, leave it in the comments. That's all I have to say, and I hope to see you guys on tomorrow's video, and I love you. Bye.